Welcome to the Week 2 review of the 10-week challenge, where we'll be trying to improve as much as possible at the game of chess with a planned and structured approach to play and study. In this book review session, we'll be taking a look at what our goals were going into Week 2, how those compared with our actual results, and then we'll put a plan together for Week 3. So coming into the week, we were hoping to spend approximately 15 hours dedicated to chess, with roughly a 50-50 split, with half of our time spent on playing and half of our time spent on study. We then hoped to split that study time down further, with roughly 30% on analysing games after we played, a further 30% on doing the built-in lessons on chess.com, and then the final 40% split between puzzles and studying openings. So during Week 2, we spent approximately 20 hours dedicated to chess, hitting our 15 hours target and going over it. For the split between play and study, we were a bit more weighted towards play than we would like, with roughly 65% on play and 35% on study. In Week 1, this was 60%, 40%. Week 2 has now gone to 65%, 35%. And for Week 3 onwards, we'd really like to try and get this back to our original set target of 50-50, which I think is going to be a much better balance overall. For the split of our study time, we were close to what we set out with. The one area that was given less time is the analysis after games. And this is another area that we'd be trying to increase our time on going into Week 3. On to our goals for Week 3. In terms of time, we're going to go back to approximately 15 hours target. We hit this and went over it in Weeks 1 and Week 2, but it remains an amount that is challenging, but should be achievable without putting us under too much pressure. For the split between play and study, as mentioned, we really want to try get back to that 50-50 split. Analysis is an area that we were definitely neglecting in Week 2, so that's an area that we want to try rectify from Week 3 onwards. The majority of that extra time for study is going to come in the form of analysis. Again, this is an area where we haven't been hitting our targets in Weeks 1 and Week 2. We want to give it some added focus in Weeks 3. One of the ways that will help us to do this is to actually play some faster games. So far, we've been playing primarily 15-10, meaning that you have 15 minutes to make all of your moves, and for every move you make, you get an additional 10 seconds. This is a great way to give you plenty of time to think while you're playing compared to some of the faster formats, but it is very time consuming, meaning you can't fit too many games in, and when you're finished, you have less time that you can dedicate to the analysis. So to help rectify that, we're going to play at least some games this week that are faster. We'll be playing either 10-minute format, meaning you have 10 minutes to make all of your moves, or we may also play some blitz games which are 5-5, meaning you have 5 minutes to make all of your moves, but then an additional 5 seconds after every move that you make. We will be sacrificing the quality of our play during these games because we will not have enough time to think and analyze while we're playing. But I think we can make up for that in doing much more detailed post-game analysis. And that's where the real benefits will come in. So that's our plans for Week 3. Before we sign off, let's take a quick look at how our stats looked from Week 2. So for next week, we'll be expecting to reduce the volume of games that we play, but what we'd be hoping to do is to increase our win percentage, and hopefully that will then translate into an improvement in rating. The good news is that we are making nice progress on the puzzles front. We now have a puzzles rating of 1,713. It has been on a reasonably steady climb since we started 2 weeks ago, and we'll be hoping to continue that into the weeks ahead. So that's it for our Week 2 review. We'll be back same day next week with another update. We'll also be playing some on Twitch and be putting out regular updates on Twitter as we continue through this 10-week challenge. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.